Alright, it's time to do some cooking with your friend Lok Ta. Now just for this video, I decided to put on use a homemade apron, you know, the type of apron, this type of apron that I wore when I worked at Subway, but this apron is homemade. Now, in order to, first you need a knife to cut the food, then you're gonna need a pan to fry the food. So what we're gonna do today is, of course, you need oil. We're gonna do some stir fry, and as well as some other ingredients. Here's what the ingredients look like when they're chopped up. I use half a bell pepper, a quarter of a white onion, and 1 carrot, as well as a clove of garlic. Now I've already cut the vegetables ahead of time already. Soy sauce, one of my favorite ingredients, and of course you gotta have your salt and pepper. So I cut the vegetables ahead of time already. This I'm just demonstrating of. This is how I cut my carrots. You know, certain dishes, you know, you gotta cut your carrots a certain way. For this stir fry, I cut carrots this way right here. Cut them long and thin. My mom told me that when you cut carrots, make sure they're, actually when you stir fry, when you cut, you know, when you cut the beef, when you cut the chicken, whatever you decide to use, when you cut up the vegetables, make sure they're thin so they can cook faster. And plus, yeah, exactly, like I said, one thing I do like about carrots, it's, you know, it's a great source of vitamin A. I believe it's a great source of vitamin A. Good for your eyes, you know, prevent night blindness. So have a carrot a day. It's an absolute must. And if you're in the United States, there's no excuse that you can't get your carrots, because carrots are pretty cheap in the United States. Okay, so I got my carrots. I cut it like that, make it easier to cook. So next off, we're gonna cut some bell peppers. Yeah, cut it. Now you cut your bell peppers however you want to when you stir fry, but this is how I like to do it, mainly for presentation. And the stir fry, we're gonna stir fry some ground beef. Yes, it's, now if you're trying to lose weight, ground beef is something that I would avoid, because ground beef has so much grease. Now another ingredient that I'm using, another vegetable, is white onion. We call it ktam parang in my country, which is Cambodia. Yeah, so onions, I love onions. I don't know if they're good for your health or not, but it's vegetables, they're good for your health regardless, so eat your vegetables. So that's what they look like. So what's important in stir fry is the garlic. I always use garlic in my stir fry. Yes, and I heard garlic's good for your health also. I don't know what's it good for, but it's good for your health. So eat it also. Yeah, so what I do is I typically smash up the garlic, cut into fine pieces, and you'll see what I do with the garlic. And garlics, it's, when you buy them, when you go to like buy them in the whole, in a bunch, that's when they're most affordable. Garlic. Now I don't know why I'm recording myself here, but I'm actually boiling some noodles right now. As you can see, that apron is ghetto. It's homemade. Okay, now first you got to do is pour the oil into the pan. Đặt khlaňក្នុងឆ្នាំងហើយដាក់អីគេដាក់ខ្ទឹមស Okay, so I put the garlic in there for flavor. And a technique that I use is a technique that I learned from a Vietnamese movie called The Scent of Green Papaya. A technique that I learned from that movie is stir frying the vegetables first before the protein source. So yeah, by the way, it was a great movie. I recommend you watching it. It's a Vietnamese movie. It's called The Scent of Green Papaya. It's right now, I think it's streaming on Netflix. So add a little bit of soy sauce for some flavor. But I'll think next time I'm gonna avoid using the soy sauce because it steams up. It puts out a lot of smoke in my studio apartment. Yeah. ពេលប្រើ soy sauce ពេលបងប្រើ soy sauce វាចេញផ្សែងច្រើនណាស់ហើយទៅផ្សែងដាក់ no my apartment. And what I'm using right now is rice wine vinegar. Rice wine vinegar is good to, you know, get rid of the smell. That's what this Chinese cook said. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try to avoid from now. I'm gonna try to avoid rice wine vinegar because it puts too much smoke. ផ្សែងច្រើនពេកប្រើ rice wine vinegar andទឹកស៊ីអ៊ីវ. Alright, for the main ingredient we got the ground beef. Ground beef. I love ground beef. I wouldn't say love ground beef, but it's one of my favorites. Now ground beef is very fattening, like I said earlier. Sạch cô chram được chứ? Mình khan chram bait. Okay, now this is very important. You got to drain the fat. Draining the fat is very important. Now, don't drain. Now, when you're draining, you know, you're also draining the actual flavors that come out. So try not to drain everything. I probably drain about 90% of the fat and 90% of the fat and juices that come out of the ground beef. I've noticed in the past when I drain like everything, when I take my time and drain everything, the ground beef doesn't have that much flavor. So I like to make sure the ground beef is a little bit moist, so you know the flavor is there. Okay, this is very important. You know, I learned from watching cooking shows like Hell's Kitchen or Kitchen Nightmares, where the star is Chef Gordon Ramsay. You gotta taste your food, you know. Taste, as he always say. Taste! Yeah, go check out Chef Gordon Ramsay. He's a pretty entertaining guy. Okay, you saw what I added. Some salt and pepper, some soy sauce, stir it up. Yeah, yeah, ឆ្ងាញ់មែនទែន សាច់គោនឹងមើលដូចឆ្ងាញ់មែនទែន ចាំមិនដាក់បន្លែតិចទៀតដាក់បន្លែភ្លក់តិចសិន Yeah, អូឆ្ងាញ់មែនទែន So ដាក់បន្លែចូល ចិត្តហើយ Oh yeah, look at that. Look at the color. You know, we also, you know, we eat with our mouths and our stomach, but we also eat with our eyes. That's very important. When I stir fry, I gotta like have assorted colors, you know, like different colors, like 3 different colors, and the more colors the better. It's just pleasing an eye when you stir fry and you got like a couple vegetables in there. Alright, taste. ត្រូវភ្លក់ឆ្ងាញ់ពេលធ្វើម្ហូបឲ្យគេត្រូវភ្លក់ម្ហូបមុនហើយទៅបានឲ្យគេញ៉ាំក្រោយ make sure mình oi private. Okay, so this was ideal for me. Oh, here's okay. I don't know why I showed you this, but for me, you know, I'm a pretty active person, so I use creatine. It's a supplement. You know, research creatine, creatine. Research that. You'll find all about it. I need creatine because I have fitness goals, and it's perfect for me. So I don't know if other people do this, but I do this. That. Let's see that. Put the creatine in the food. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'll even put creatine in my tofu when I do stir-fried tofu. I even put the creatine on there. It gives it a weird flavor. Not a flavor. It's actually creatine doesn't. There is no flavor in creatine. It just makes everything like a little bit crunchy. It's like you're eating powder. And this is the noodle that I was boiling earlier. Feel. I think that's called it feel. Noodles, feel. Yeah, feel scao mun. Đặt lại pillar. Chan methane. Okay, yeah. So we're about to eat. Now we're gonna put some Mexican hot sauce. I choose Mexican hot sauce because the teriyaki sauce, you know, the cock sauce, you know, the sauce that Asian people like to use with the rooster on there, that's pretty expensive. So I decided to save some money and use the Mexican hot sauce, which is more affordable, and it tastes good also. And this food was outstanding. Hope you learned something. Oh, Tran methane. Okay. All right. Bye bye. Hope you like what you saw. Alright, it's time to cook with Lok Ta. Yeah, time to cook some food. Test, 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 test. Yeah. Yeah, that's some great ass food. You're gonna like it.